So this was my first year in a SaaS corporate tech sales job, and I managed to achieve 150% of my 2025 yearly target. And so without teaching you how to sell the pen and how to sell to everyone, ice to Eskimos, I just want to talk to you about what actual productivity and mindset shifts helped me to achieve and actually exceed my target, and kind of give you hopefully a boost for 2026. So we'll jump straight in. So the first tip, bro, expectation. It's crucial and such a big part of your game. You know, you need to see yourself as someone who's gonna be a high performer, and of course smash your target and exceed your target regardless of what the challenge is. That needs to be the expectation. And this was my first time in software sales, so I had many nerves attached to whether I would learn this industry and how quickly I can really adapt to this. But I remember clear as day, at the end of my 90-day probation, they asked me to do what they call a 30, 60, 90 presentation, which was basically in 30 days, in 60 days, in 90 days, these are the milestones that I hope to have achieved. And I said there, being brand new in the role, that in the next 90 days, which would be 6 months in total in the company, that I will be a part of the core performing team, meet them at their standards, and be recognized for being a strong player in the game. Basically, I wanted some recognition of, okay, cool, Marvin has really cemented his place. And I remember the reception being somewhat of, be patient, it's a learning curve, take things slow. And, given by the title of the video and what I've managed to achieve, yes, by 6 months, I was a core performer of the team and matching them, and in some cases exceeding them at their levels. And I do think expectation is such a massive part of that. It's not right, let's see how it's your first year, let's just see how it goes. No, we're not here to take part, we're here to take over mindset. You need to be that high performer, that is just your expectation of yourself. My second tip, bro, is to really just be focused on the most important output at all times. And what I mean by that is, again, in your sales role, there will just be one aspect of the job that is the most important part and brings, the most deals, the biggest commission, or just moves the needle the most. And again, this heavily applies to me in my role. For example, there's a huge aspect of it is admin, very process based, having dotting the I's, crossing the T's. And in many cases, I let that slack. It's the whole cliche of, have you updated your Salesforce yet? I might be one of the slower ones to update my Salesforce. I'll put my hands up. But what I am doing is smashing meeting after meeting, closing meeting after meeting, and getting the pipeline filled up. And that is, at the end of the day, the most important part. Would your manager rather have your Salesforce look squeaky clean, but you've got no deals coming across the line, or the reverse? We know the answer, it's straightforward. And so that needs to be your focus, and that's what I double down on. Where am I getting my next meeting from? How am I closing the next deal? What's getting me the most commission? That is my focus. Everything else, any sort of admin task, any sort of notification, reminder, whatever, secondary. That can come later. I'm exceeding and smashing and attacking my target every day. And that's what you need to do to, in my opinion, just not get lost in the weeds, and maybe get your nice little badge for being admin clean, but not producing the results that really matter. This is closely tied to number 3, bro, which is the focus in terms of your daily output should be on tasks rather than time, in my opinion. And so, if you compare it to your sales role now or my sales role, there'll be maybe a certain amount of phone calls that you want to make, a certain amount of conversations that you want to have, or emails you want to send, or pitches you want to have made, sales you want to have completed. Whatever it is, there's a certain output standard that you should have for yourself, and that gets completed regardless of what time it is. And that can work in your favor, and obviously, on some days mean you put in the extra mile. If it's 5 o'clock or 5:30 and you're, 5% away from completing your metrics, why would you want to clock out then and say, it's 5:30, it's time for me to go, see you later? Bro, just half an hour extra to just get the task done today, an hour extra, to move yourself forward a bit and just be the person that's completed the task that they said they're going to do, be a man of your word. Come on, man, be serious, again, very easily can work in your favor. It might be 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the day, and you've smashed it, and you've achieved the objectives that you said you would. Then you've got a bit of coasting time. You can complete the little side admin and the notifications that are belling off and get all that sort of shit done. Easy second half to the day if you've already achieved what you said you would, or you can really double down and then go for a PB day, whatever it might be. But the point is, don't sit there focused on time thinking, oh, I've done this for an hour, right, time to move on to something else. Nah, the task is not completed. Work by tasks, not by time. I think we're on number 4, which is don't let things slip through the cracks. Just basically become a beast at having visibility and taking notes and just maximizing every single lead, prospect, potential customer that you have. You can't let them slip. Like I literally, I've got on my usual setup, I've got my notepad here, I've got my whiteboard behind me, I've got a digital notepad on my laptop screen that I use. I set myself calendar reminders for myself. If you use certain CRM systems like Salesforce or whatever it might be, like set yourself a task there to follow up with XYZ. Nothing can slip through the cracks. It's your job to just squeeze the funnel and get as much as you can out of it. And so you can't afford to have these moments where you have oh yeah, what happened to that prospect? Or, oh yeah, what did happen with that company meeting? Let me search my email, see if I can find them. Oh yeah, shit, they asked me to follow. Fuck all that. Like, if you're serious, if you actually want to smash your yearly quota, exceed it, this is what you need to do. Nothing slips through the cracks. Have reminders, tasks, set up to a T. It's massively helped me, and because we're human. Other manager comes to you, talks about XYZ, you've got a meeting about that. Some random some things happen outside of work. It's normal for you to forget unless you do this. And then last but not least, which is probably a trait that you already have, which is why you're watching this video and you've made it to this last part, is to have a student mentality and to always be improving your skill set. It's at the end of the day, the way I see it is, we already know sales is a game where the better you become, the more money you can make. So it's already obvious, but also it's obvious that you should be improving. But also, even if you're not in sales, or if you're not really in a role where your commission might be so drastically affected, you're doing your job for 7 to 8 hours per day. Like, such a huge chunk of your life gets spent on just doing the job that you do. Why would you not then want to just become the best possible version of you, or develop the skill the best that you possibly could? Like, why spend 7 to 8 hours a day on something that you're just going to be average at? Like, to me, that just doesn't make sense. Then you just go do something that you would enjoy more and you want to get better and better at. So I think that mindset of just constantly looking out for the way they open their conversation, or the way they complete their tasks and get it done efficiently, or whatever it might be, bro. Just constantly be in a process of, where can I get better? How can I optimize this? How can I improve it? And just watch it compound, month after month. And yeah, I can easily say I'm only 12 months in my role, and sure, still lots to learn, but the version of me now compared to what I was doing even 6 months ago, like, I look at that guy like an idiot, and like, I knew nothing. Like, I'm so much, and that's natural, but I think with the mindset of being a student, you can just accelerate it. And that's literally it. I'd say they're the 5 things I focused on that really moved the needle this year. There'll be a summary of them in the comment section or something. And yeah, bro, we have a new year up ahead. Hope it really helps you smash your 2026 quota. And of course, as always, God bless.